Welcome to the Revenge of Podcast, your weekly podcast for all things Revenge of and more. My name is Jeff Iser, and joining me as always, I got Miss Coral Braden.
What up, what up?
And Joe Myers.
Howdy, howdy.
We are back. It's been a crazy week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a crazy week. I mean, it wasn't that crazy of a weekend, but we made it through our Moon Man event.
Whew, on the other side.
We survived, I think. It was intense, as they always are. I felt a little overwhelmed in a few moments. Personally, I don't know why.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh no, you did. Thank you. I mean, yeah, it was fun. I figured we would take the time on this edition of the podcast to kind of recap a little behind the scenes shenanigans and talk about Mr. Kid Cudi and all that kind of shit. First thing of note, go ahead.
I was just going to say that we actually have some call-ins also from the event.
I know. I'm very excited about that. We had a ton of people call in to leave us some voice messages, and we picked the top 3 to talk to. I haven't heard most of them, but we'll see what people had to say. I'm excited. It's going to be like a full-on radio show. We're going to take callers, you know. Coral's going to show off her girls.
Mm-hmm.
To no one in particular. Nobody in this room is going to appreciate it, that's for sure. But the first thing I would note of the Kid Cudi event is people started lining up at like 9 a.m. again.
Yeah, that was. I didn't get that.
Yeah, you know, I got to say, though, there was a distinct difference between the people that came to this event and the people that came to the Scott Pilgrim event, I will say.
Yeah.
I would say, not to poo-poo the Scott Pilgrim fans by any means, but like everyone seemed pretty chill at this event. Like everyone was like pretty happy to be there, and they were like relaxed about it for the most part. People weren't like pushing and shoving. There was a bunch of people that were trying to like get in that weren't able to get in, that we had to turn away. One dude, there was one moment where I was up at the front of the line, like the point where the line turned into the parking lot. And this one dude was like, he like barreled past me, and I was like, where are you going? And he's like, oh, my friend, I'm just meeting him. And I'm like, do you have an RSVP? And he's like, no, I'm just meeting my friend. And I was like, okay, get out of here.
Because that always works.
Yeah, get out of here. But it's that guy. It was a guy that's always at our signings, the one with the neck tats.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think I have an idea of there's like a group.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he's usually pretty nice, but then he tried to barrel through, and I was just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, come on. Yeah, it was pretty cool though. You know, we were moving and shaking. We got through the line pretty quickly, I would say. We ended up having to stop a little bit early.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate. We had some people who decided to dip out before the line was over, but we only had like 25 people left in line, which was not too bad. And I gotta say, like, the majority of the people in line weren't that upset about it. The people that were like next in line were pretty upset about it because they were like right there.
I only had to yell at one person. Oh, you were there for that.
I was there for that. I got nervous.
Oh, never mind. We're not going to talk about that.
I mean, you could talk about it. This is a behind the scenes moment.
He got so like panicked. Like it was just like a split second. He's just like, my girlfriend's there. My girlfriend. I was like, no shit. She's right next to me. He's like, well, I'm just trying to get there. I was like, you can't get there by going through me. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He was just so scared. I've never seen such a big man just like, oh, Kid Cudi.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was like, can't we just get through these next couple people? And they were like, no, this person is the last person. And I was like, but there's just and they're like, no. And I said, okay, I guess. And then we had to tell everybody. And then that guy was like, but my girlfriend's next and she was the last. And that I was just like, just go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're not going to know. Like, whatever. Just sign your name one more time. Just sign your name 25 more times.
I mean, on the other side, I kind of get like, when you're viewed as just a way to add collateral or something to a project, like we had, it was kind of funny, but we, within an hour of the event ending, there was already stuff online on eBay and whatnot, people trying to resell their signed copies, and that's before getting them graded even.
I know, and the problem, like, this is why I don't like doing, I love doing celebrations, right? And like launch parties. I don't love doing signings because it it brings out the like signing what do you call them, the people, the collector people who like are there specifically to flip the thing.
Yeah,
you know,
like the capitalists.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And whoever took that on our couch immediately, you're shit for that.
That's the thing is somebody posted an eBay of a signed copy of the exclusive variant. They took a picture of it on our sofa in the front and posted it on eBay, which is insane.
Nuts.
But you know, some of them have sold on eBay for up to like, well, it said for best offer, but there was a $500 one that sold, so it probably sold for like $350 or something.
And those are the ones that aren't graded.
Yeah, there's even ones online that are going for like $340 that aren't even signed.
Yeah, they're not signed, but someone bought one of those.
Yeah, and had I known it would have been like this, I didn't realize we were just printing out $100 bills. We would have had twice as many made. You know, but you never.
We wouldn't have been able to get them all signed.
No, but even the unsigned ones.
You know what? I do think we didn't do a great job of advertising is that there were only 500 copies.
Well, we made a distinct decision not to say exactly how many there were because I think we were nervous about it. But yeah, there was only 500 copies. So like in the echelon of rare number ones, it's one of the rarest. I mean, there are other retailer incentives out there, I think, like one or two others, but they're not designed by Tristan Eaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they're not Kid Cudi didn't come anywhere near those ones.
Yeah.
Even the unsigned ones. But yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy, like seeing stuff on eBay and like just the rabid nature around it.
So that's the thing that I was kind of like after the fact. I was upset for the people that didn't get signatures right away.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it a little bit more. And as you see people like turning these things around immediately, it does feel kind of gross. And like, why should someone spend more time uncomfortable if they're already uncomfortable?
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird like catch-22.
Well, that's the thing is like I don't want to ever, whenever this happens where we have a major celebrity and then they cut the line off, like I don't want to ever blame them necessarily unless they're being an asshole about it. But like I feel like I got to put myself in their shoes a little bit, and like, you know, it's understandable, I suppose. Like the Edgar Wright thing with Scott Pilgrim, that was a shit show. And like that wasn't necessarily his fault. I would blame his people and then Netflix especially, but like I would also blame us because we didn't know how many people were going to show up, and we didn't have an RSVP system that time. So we weren't prepared for 1,000 people to show up and majority of them be disappointed. But you know, this one in particular was like, I don't know.
I will also say good on Netflix for giving us more of those posters to hand out to people.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
That was, granted they couldn't be signed or whatnot, but we were able to like, hopefully, you know, extend a little olive branch to people who couldn't get the signature.
For sure. And I mean, the one comment that I got over and over again at the Kid Cudi event was that it was so much more organized than Scott Pilgrim.
We learned.
Yeah, we learned.
And we learned also, we grow.
We did things the way we wanted to do things this time, you know?
Yeah. I think that's great because now we know to tell people what works.
Yeah,
we have hard proof that this system works for us and our clients. So
yeah,
I thought it was great. I thought it ran smooth. The only thing that bothered me was the amount of like with the cameras. It was like, hey, don't put a camera in his face. And they just kept doing that. And I'm like, you're wondering why, like, maybe he's uncomfortable and doesn't want to sign anymore.
Yeah.
That was another thing is we told everyone no pictures, but it was like, all right, well, I'm still going to take pictures of him. Just I'm not going to pose. And there's people like doing selfies and shit. And it's like, well, I'm not going to step in and tell them no. Like the bodyguard's right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's again, another one of those things that almost, if you went on eBay and looked at all the things listed, there are people taking photos of Kid Cudi signing things and then putting them on their eBays. So it's like
I know. And then we were like, wouldn't it be nice if we made this like certificate to give everyone? And that's like the number one thing with the eBay thing. They're like, see, it's real.
It will be until those CGC graded ones come back. That's gonna be crazy.
Can we talk about CGC for a second? Can we talk about the experience we had?
Oh, your experience?
My experience. I don't want to. How do I put this? Like, okay, let's just talk about CGC in general, right? Because there's people out there that probably don't know what CGC is.
Yeah.
So CGC is, I don't know what it stands for.
Comic grading.
bullshit.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know. It stands for something, but it's essentially like a way to grade and price, or not price, but to grade the quality of something and then seal it in there. So when you go to resell it, you know that this particular issue of the comic is a 9.8 or a 7 or whatever. And also, did you get the name?
I do love this. 2 comic book shop owners are Googling CGC.
Well, it's because we're not in it for that.
They've come, I mean, certified
Grading?
No, guarantee just is a little.
So you're telling me their name is as convoluted as their system?
That makes sense.
Oh my God, there's so many different
yeah, they have so
things.
many. I mean, they just announced they're opening a location in Tokyo this
Certified
year.
Collectibles Group?
But very
Tokyo.
bottom,
Certified Guarantee Company.
That's just a weird
Certified.
way to spell guarantee. I was not
Certified Guarantee Company.
I love it.
So
Okay.
and that's because they may have originally started with like coins. That's one of the
That makes
things that they
sense.
do forever.
Mm.
In the last few years, I mean, they've really kind of upped their services because I think
Yeah. They do everything. You can get like a VHS tape graded.
VHS is new. You can get like
Great.
video games
Video
now.
games. Trading cards is a big one.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So anyway, it's a way to get your memorabilia graded and sealed, so then you can then resell it, and it's like certified by someone else that it's A, legitimate, B, is in a specific type of quality, and yada yada.
And I mean, you can nowadays they have when you get your items graded, you can actually there's a barcode.
Yeah.
And you can add it to your online account and basically like track value, track shares, like
and see who,
there's like a Carfax for your certified collectibles.
Yeah, so it's all very interesting. It's certainly an antiquated system of how they're operating, I would say, only because of how, I don't know, it's run by older people, I would imagine.
The way I would put it is that the demand, they're trying to protect their name.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There is a chain specific. Okay, so when you send in a comic to be graded, 9 times out of 10, you're sending a comic that you bought off a shelf or you found at a garage sale. You're not generally sending in something that's signed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 9 times out of 10, maybe even 1 out of 100 times. But you send that in. It takes them a few weeks. They check the pages, they check the ink, they check the cover, they check for dings and damages, and then they issue you a number on a 1 to 10 scale with a single decimal place. So a lot of times you're kind of floating around 9, 6 to 10. 10 is super rare.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get it back and it's locked in at that value. It is put into a piece of plastic that keeps it in place, that prevents damage, that prevents UV damage, and it lives in there. And that's how it retains its collectability.
Well, and the whole thing is that if you get something signed, they have to have like a representative that watches the signature happen, and then they authenticate that on the spot, so that when they go to seal it in the plastic, you know that it's got this actual person's signature on there. And that's what all the collectors are after, because if they can get, and every time we've done a signing, people are like, is CGC going to be there? Blah, blah, blah. And up until now, we were just like, no. But then we were like, well, this is a pretty good opportunity to A, have our exclusive cover slabbed, and B, have it signed by, the guy, the
creators.
Yeah, the creators, and also have that slab. So it felt like a good opportunity to finally dip our toe in that water, and it was awful. But I will say it went fine. It went very smooth, actually, like when we were doing it, but the lead up to it was like the dealing with people and like all this other stuff, and it's not CGC that we dealt with directly. We had to deal with like a third party.
Yeah, tell me about that drama. I want to hear that.
I don't want names or anything. I would say we had a great experience with our authenticator.
Yeah,
she was awesome. She held our hand. She made it really easy.
So I guess the way it works is there has to be a facilitator, which means like a third party company. So like we're trying to be our own facilitator at Revenge of, and then you need an authenticator, which is like a person that like works for the facilitator. So like you would be the authenticator, Joe would be the authenticator at the Revenge of, which is the facilitator. Yes?
Well, that might get into a dicey area because they don't necessarily want facilitators and witnesses to I get a little confused on this.
Well,
point,
whatever.
But
So,
it's like independent bodies.
got it. So anyway, so we ended up hiring this facilitator that, or not even hiring because they're the one that makes the money. They make. She was making like $15 every book, and we don't make anything off of the authentication or any of that, and we don't pay them directly. Everyone else, all the other people pay them. So like, I was trying to figure out, because we've never done it before, so I was just trying to figure out how it works and what the price was, and it took us. It was like 2 weeks of us asking the facilitator, like, what does this cost per book? And she would give us this crazy list of like all these numbers. And we're like, okay, but like, what does it cost?
Are you talking about that really educated woman?
Yeah, she was highly educated. So finally, I'm like, okay, like, so it's $90 a book? And she's like, yes, unless blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, but how do they pay for it? And she's like, well, they'll just take the money when they do the signature. And I'm like, but there's no time for that because we only have 20 seconds per person. And she's like, but there's going to be time and you're going to have to take the money. And I'm like, can I take the money at the register and then pay you for it at the end? And she was like, you're trying to pull one over on me and steal my money.
Scheming.
And it turned into this whole conversation about how I was trying to steal her money. And I was like, listen, lady, I just want to get
We just want to be able
this.
to tell people what a thing costs.
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
99% of people coming through this line are going to do one thing.
Yeah. And then the authenticator was like, we'll just email an invoice afterwards. And I was like, that's what I was saying. And then, but she was like, you're talking about mailing me a check. And I was like, I didn't say anything about a check.
Do you not know how to use the internet, you idiot?
No, that's what she said. So she said that to me. I asked her how much it cost, and she was like, it's either $15 or $20 for something. And I was like, is it 15 or is it 20? And she goes, go on the website. And I was like, what website? What are you talking about? And then when I called her on the phone, she was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know you didn't know how to use the internet.
Oh my God.
And I was I was in the middle of setting up the whole set. And like, I was already like super stressed out because we're having,
because we are hours away from opening and having all these people who want to do things. And we still didn't have a number that we could easily tell people.
And I mean, this is the part that people don't know about these events is that, like, you know, we try to do them like FTB Design, which is our company that does production design and fabrication. Like, we kind of foot the bill on a lot of these events because we want to do cool things for the community. And like, you know, we don't charge people for entry and like all this other kind of stuff. So like, we try to do it on our end as cheaply as possible, which means you know, I don't necessarily have as many hands installing something as I normally would. So we're like rushing and we're having issues with the LED lights and we're having issues with one wall and like the tents and the blah, blah, blah. And so there's like issues going around. And then all of a sudden I got to deal with this lady who won't even tell me how much money her thing is, you know? And she's like, well, I'm giving you a deal and it's going to be this. And I'm like, I don't want a deal. I just want you to tell me how much it costs so I can tell our customers, which will then be your customers, how much it costs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At the end of the day, we ended up sending off like 100 and something books.
Again, shout out to Laura who made that process.
The authenticator was awesome. She did a great job. She was super helpful. That's all I'll say about that. You know.
Yeah.
I'll have her back for sure. But CGC is just, I don't know. It's not something I really want to mess with. When we opened, we were always like, we're not going to sell slabs, which are the plastic comic. I mean, we have a couple for sale, but like literally 2. But we're not going to get into that whole business and that racket. You know, it's like a whole other business that I'm not here for.
It's just a world that we're not. It takes a lot. Although to be fair, now we're gonna send out an email this week about our CGC services that we offer.
I know. Coral's gonna be the manager of that.
A little heads up right now. It's gonna be probably submissions on Sundays, and we'll have a price point for everyone. But bring your books in on Sunday. A certain Scotty Roberts who knows things can give you some advice, and we'll get you all set up.
What Coral? What do you want to talk about from the event? What stuck out to you?
Like you said, it was a lot better than the Scott Pilgrim. Way better. I liked everybody. What still, I'm gonna say it again, pisses me off was the phones. And there were people asking me, "Can you take my picture?
Yeah.
While I do this?" I was like, "No." And they would ask people that were standing behind the little barriers.
Yeah.
And they kept handing their phones away. And I was like, "Can I see that?" And she like showed me the phone, and I locked it. And I was like, whoops.
Oops.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah. We held back a couple of the exclusive covers. Or we had a couple left over. Because I will say this, like we sold out of RSVPs, right? But there was like probably 60 people that didn't show up.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because there's so many people that were fighting to get the RSVPs that, but we knew it would be like that. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be drop off like that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad they didn't show up because they wouldn't have made it through that many people. Turns out
it would have been a lot. Yeah.
So, but we did have some extra covers and we put them online 2 days after the event, and they went live at noon, and by like 12:01 they were sold out.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. And I mean, we still have a few left that we're probably gonna put out.
And we did the best we could to let everyone know to self-monitor and keep it to one issue per person.
Yeah.
I think everyone understood, and when we had to cancel or change, everyone was very understanding. So
yeah, but like I said, had I known that we would just be printing money, I would have printed more money.
Right.
God damn it. All right, so we took a couple we had so I'm going to keep trying to publicize this, but we have a way for people to like essentially call in to the podcast, which is super fun, and we're going to hopefully get more of these throughout the episodes. I'd love to have like 1 or 2 callers per episode, honestly. But so we had a couple callers send in their thoughts about the event. So let's take the first call.
All right. First up is Hunter.
The Moon Man event was really cool. Just Kid Cudi entering the comic book creation space. It's pretty reassuring from a creative standpoint. Insofar as a couple of years ago, I put together this comic book album hybrid, and I'm going to be printing it officially here in a few days. But whenever you got ADHD and you're like making things, if you're not 100% in the moment, you just do not want to do it, and you just want to avoid it at all costs. But seeing him talk about it that night that got me back in the moment. So I really needed it. And also the comic book is good too. But yeah, super grateful you guys put that event on. And yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Wow.
That was
Yeah, right?
I got to commend that guy for like plugging his stuff, but he didn't plug his stuff at all. He just said he was doing a thing, but he didn't plug it.
The thing that
That's
think
okay.
He was admiring Kid talking about working with ADHD, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I just love when he got on stage. He was like, I like turtles.
No, well, because his birthday party was like the night before, and he had like those Ninja Turtles that have been popping up in ads and stuff. They're like full like 90s costume.
Okay.
They were at his birthday.
You know what sucks is that he didn't even play Turtles inside.
What?
We have
Ninja he didn't go inside.
He didn't go in the store.
He's too much. He can't go in the store. But his people all went in the store, and they were like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yeah, that's what we've been telling you." Anyway, let's take another call.
All right.
Joe, it's Tooch. Was the bar with the meatballs in Orlando called Monkey Bar? If so, then we definitely may have eaten meatballs out of a chafing dish at the end of a bar off of a toothpick on a drunk Sunday night, possibly near each other or in passing. I can't believe we haven't talked about an Orlando connection. Sorry if this isn't usable for the podcast, or congratulations to me if it is. Bye.
You've eaten the same balls.
Yeah, I was kind of okay. When I listened to that, I kind of was picturing like a Lady in the Tramp moment where you're like, "Tooch, off of one end of the toothpick and the other." What is it? Was it Monkey Bar?
It wasn't for me. It was at a bar called Savoy.
Savoy?
Savoy?
Oh, Savoy.
It's
a Saman, baby. It's incredibly fun. I'm glad. Thank God we're talking about meatballs at gay bars again, because I noticed the other day I was like, perhaps we should go to the Eagle. It's been a minute. And I was looking up what they are up to, and they just had a meatball contest.
Which I'm pretty upset that nobody reaches out to me to taste these.
To taste the balls? You're not welcome at that sort of
I'll put on my merkin and they'll let me right in. What do you mean?
Actually, based off the thirst trap she just posted on the story, on her stories on IG earlier today, I think she might have a chance to go in there.
Like I said, I'll pop on the merkin, walks my way in there.
You just got to put the merkin on your chest. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad that Tooch was able to bring that up.
Yeah.
But your Orlando connection isn't Orlando. Isn't Winter Park like totally different? Or
Winter
is
Park
it,
is like North Orlando, basically.
like how north? Like North
I mean,
Hollywood?
we would on a weekend drive 20 minutes into downtown Orlando.
Aha, got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got one more call. This one I have not heard yet. Hopefully it's a good one. So let's take one more call.
Thank you, Revenge Comics, for this really big opportunity to meet my favorite artist and to see the artists that help him make this comic book. Shout out to Kyle Higgins and Tristan Eaton. And I am really happy that I had the opportunity to meet Cudi. He's one of my big motivations. His music helps me push through and keep going. And I really appreciate that you guys gave us an opportunity to see him. And I loved your shop. We'll be coming back very soon. So thank you again for that. Hope to see you pretty soon. Thank you.
Oh, oh, what was that?
Ooh.
That was a nice little call.
That was a little precious.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a precious one.
Yeah, that was Kathy.
Thank
Kathy.
you, Kathy.
Thank you for calling, Kathy. We appreciate it. I like the audience feedback thing because who knows? Like, I think everyone was satisfied, but it's hard to tell.
I mean, it definitely seems like I think most people were satisfied.
Yeah.
And understanding.
Based on the amount of hate mail we got after Scott Pilgrim versus the amount of hate mail we got after this event, I would say it was a rousing success.
It's fine.
100%.
Yeah, we only got like one hateful message, and I wrote back, and they left me on red.
Well,
Ooh.
because it definitely didn't seem like that one was
Well, that person was
that legit.
probably
Yeah.
lying, actually. It was pretty funny. What else do we want to talk about with this Moon Man event? Like, do they want to know what Kid Cudi smelled like? I mean, I don't know. He smelled like weed.
Did he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, everybody smelled like weed that
Yeah,
night.
there was a lot of
There was a lot
weed
of
It's
that
like I
night.
got a
weed.
contact high.
Yeah. Cora was like, she was in her element, just she's just a brick wall up there.
Now, who was the lady with me? The looker?
The look,
Laura,
Yeah, Laura.
the witness.
Laura, that looker.
She was the CGC witness.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it was like Kevin and Jordan. They were holding up the line. I think they were like taking their shit out. I was like, let's fucking go. Move it. And she just like gasped. She's like, please tell me you know them. I was like, I've never met these people in my life, but I'm trying to get done. Come
She
on.
was so funny. Laura was like, I'm going to meet Kid Cudi today. So she like wore heels and
So
like
cute.
she had lipstick on and earthen.
Well, she's an educator, so she came straight from school.
Well, she was Mrs. Robinson it up that day because, you know, her other friend, also a teacher, was like, oh, Jesus,
Oh,
Coral.
fuck my knee. Sorry, guys.
Jesus. Yeah. So I was kind of trying to think like we don't have anything on the horizon that's like this big quite yet, other than some fun stuff we're cooking up. So it's like, what would be our next dream collaborations for an event like this? I was thinking, I mean, you and I talked about it a little bit last night, but Paul Reiser is writing. You know Paul Reiser?
Tell me about
He's
him.
he's the older gentleman. He was quite popular in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
He was in Alien. He was like
Aliens.
Sorry, he was like the bad guy in that, right?
He was the company man.
He worked for Wayland Yutani.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's actually writing an Alien comic. It's a what if Alien comic.
Yeah, the idea being that what if oh man, I forget his character's name, but what if he succeeded?
Yeah.
Acquiring an alien embryo.
Yeah. So he's on my list because I think not necessarily would be as big as a Kid Cudi per se, but it would be
I also
fun.
think he co-wrote it with his son.
Yeah, there's
that was
another
right.
riser on
Yeah.
the docket there.
Yeah, it's his son. They co-wrote it together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I had, and this one's shout out to Kenzie. This is like her dream, but doing a Holy Roller signing with Andy Samberg.
That would be awesome.
And Rick Remender and Joe Troman.
When the book comes out.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to them and see if we can make that happen.
Cool.
Mr. Samberg.
I love hearing names I've never heard before.
You don't know any of those people?
No. If
Really?
I had to pick someone to come to the shop, it'd be Tinian.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about his shit.
James Tynion. He doesn't restory any of our stuff.
No, but it
Mm.
Or
One
even
day.
look at it.
One day.
But he's friends. He's on this like workout journey where he's getting skinnier and skinnier, and I'm like, I can tell you're on Ozempic from one
You
person.
don't know that.
From one person who's on said drug to another, I could spot him.
You feel like you know, but you don't know.
I don't know that, but I feel like I know that.
Well, anyways, let him come through. We'll do a workout together. You just have to
Yeah.
sign some of my shit.
Yeah.
Come on.
You just gotta sign my Something School of Children. We'll do a pump.
Oh, you know
yeah.
what we were just talking about the other day? Something's Killing the Children is coming back in like April or May.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, and it's kind of exciting. It'll be like a good jumping in point because
Yeah.
it's going to be 5 issues of like singular stories about oh no, I'm forgetting the character's name.
Erica Slaughter.
Erica Slaughter. And it's going to be between her leading up to Archer's Peak.
I think say
I don't know
Scotty
what the fuck you're talking
gave
about.
me an earful yesterday. I think it's like a prequel, yeah,
Really?
of
Yeah.
all the mistakes she made and well, not like all the mistakes, all like
Oh.
the journey she made to get to the town.
Yeah.
From where we started.
Mhm.
Got it.
I'm
So
ready.
I'm actually 2 issues behind on Something's Killing Children.
Ooh.
Like I was just saving them up, and then it ended, and then I haven't gotten back to it yet. Same
Mhm.
with that, and same with House of Slaughter. I have like 2 issues behind on that, and I didn't read Book of Butcher or whatever it was called that came out. Butcher Book.
Butcher Book.
Book of Butcher.
Yeah, I haven't read any of that stuff yet. It's all in my box.
Well, and Free Comic Book Day, there's going to be Worlds of Tiny and single issue
Oh,
because it's 5 years of Something's Killing the Children.
damn.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good segue to talk about like what we're reading this week and what we're excited about. I don't know. I've got a list here of and I think all of us are excited about some of the similar things, but there's some new shit coming out this week that I was really excited about that I read. The first one is called The One Hand. It's
Mhm.
written by Ram B.
Story of your life.
It's yeah. Know what I mean? The One Hand. It was very much like Seven.
Mhm.
Like it's like this detective who's like it's his last day and he's retiring, and then this like serial murder case comes back and he's like, this is my case, and it's very Seven-esque.
Okay.
But what's interesting about this comic is that it's a 2-part comic. There's 2 concurrent comics that are coming out at the same time.
Mhm.
One is called The One Hand and the other is called The Six Fingers. And the One Hand is the detective,
Okay.
and the Six Fingers is the killer.
Just sounds naughty to me, so I'll read it.
And
Yeah.
I forget the Six Fingers is by a different,
It's a different
writer,
team
but
altogether.
I forget who it is.
Yeah.
It is another like pedigree person.
I didn't write it down, but the One Hand it's like the one-handed killer is like the killer. And then the Six Fingers is also the killer. I don't know. I haven't read the Six Fingers. The Six Fingers isn't out yet.
Okay.
It comes out like next week, I think,
I think so.
or something like that. But anyway, the One Hand was really good. We get a new issue of Beneath the Trees.
Ooh, little teddy bear killers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta say, and Scott and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. We were kind of lukewarm on the second issue
Mhm.
of it. You read the first and second issue,
Yeah.
right? The first issue was awesome. The
Mhm.
second issue was like, eh. The third issue is awesome. It's like back to like that whole Dexter vibe,
Hell yeah.
and it's all about like he's trying to like he's trying to find the person that's the killer, you know?
She? Oh.
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until the end of the issue that
Mhm.
it was a she.
What do you mean?
They call her Sam the
Yeah.
whole time, and she wears okay.
Overalls? Wow.
Oh,
Wow. No, she wears. Listen, she
Wow.
doesn't have any titties.
What do you can look at her face and that's a lady.
Well, now
That's a lady bear.
That's a lady bear.
Yeah, okay, she's an anthropomorphic bear that wears plaid tucked into her denim.
So she's a lesbian. Move
Yeah.
on. God.
Okay, now I get it. But then I was like, wait a minute. Because then at the end of the issue, somebody called her Samantha. And I was like, wait, what?
Who's Samantha?
I just don't see gender. I only see male.
Oh, great.
That explains so much.
You know what I mean? Is there anything coming out that you're excited about? Do you even know what's coming out this week?
I've been reading Somna. I'm in that. That
Oh,
second one that came
yeah.
out. Everyone go get it right now.
Yeah, just-
It's delicious.
Oh my God. I sold a gentleman came in yesterday that is like all up on that distillery dick.
Oh.
Whoa.
That
Up
DD.
he's up riding that distillery
Mm.
dick. You know what I mean? And he was like, give me Somna. And he ordered, we had one copy of issue 1 left. It was a 1 in 10. He got that. And then he got the issue 2, and I was like, oh, we've got all these different covers. And I was like, plus we got this polybag. And he's like, what's that? And I was like, there's pussy on that cover. And he was like, oh, I don't need that one. And then we were going to check out, and he's like, actually, I'll take that one.
Give me that.
I was like, I know you want to see it. Did you see the polybag cover?
Yeah. What do you mean? I sold it to someone. I said, please open it right now.
Yeah.
What my favorite thing though, I sold one of those, and I sold a Jimmy,
Yeah.
which is a sandwich from Uncle Polly. Said you can get a revenge of. Mwah, delicious. So I sell him this, and then he goes into the other room, sits down with his sandwich, and starts reading this. And I'm like, God damn, you're about to
no.
have a good time.
Oh no, just eating some roast beef, reading Somna.
Wait, reading his polybag Sanma?
Reading his
Oh my
polybag
God.
Somna.
No.
It's like a true hero.
The children. I will say though, I didn't realize this, that Scott was telling me that all these distillery stories are only 3 issues.
Mhm.
That's pretty crazy.
That's how I think there is potential for some of them to continue, but out the gate,
Yeah.
they're like beginning, middle, end.
Yeah. I was all excited to read Gone this week because I thought it was the first issue, and then I realized that the first issue already came out a while ago, and I stopped reading it because it was boring.
Oh,
Mm.
because I think you mean because it had words.
Yeah, well, I asked Jolene, and she was like, it was boring.
Mm.
I don't know.
So,
There's lots of explosions.
I don't know.
Explosions.
Yeah, lots of people getting shot
Not
in the
that,
head.
not that Somna kind of explosion.
Oh
That's
my
true.
God.
Two different.
2 different explosions.
God
right there.
damn. Yeah, what else is coming out this week? So, the final issue, the issue number 4 of Alien, the run that's happening right
The
now.
Declan Shalvey run.
Yeah, so this is another thing Scott and I were talking about yesterday, which normally I don't talk to Scott about comics because I like to save it for the stream, but I figured, you know what? Why not talk
Mhm.
to each other for once? But yesterday, we were talking about Alien, and I was kind of like about this Alien run. The one before was really good, and I think this is maybe the 3rd run that I've read of Alien.
And I think this is the 3rd one written by Declan Shalvey, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
I was a little about it, but the 4th issue was really good. Like, I really liked the 4th issue.
With those, would you recommend reading Alien or Predator versus Wolverine?
Oh, those are okay. So
Yeah.
the Predator runs
Mhm.
that are not Predator versus Wolverine,
Mhm.
those are all really good.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've actually really enjoyed all of them so far this
Okay.
last 2 years. And the Alien ones, I feel like every time an issue 1 pops up, you can just jump right in. There's not really any. Usually they take place in a different time and whatever. The only thing that is that carries over is like the Wailing Yutani of it all, and
Mhm.
then also like the alien, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one was like a totally different story about like lots of like androids, shit like that. But the 4th issue was really good, super into it,
Mhm.
and Scott agreed with me, which that never happens. So that's good. I'm trying to think of what else I read. I also I read the Red Hood, The Hill.
The Hill.
It's like issue 0. Red Hood is Jason Todd. He was Robin, and then he becomes Red Hood because he likes to murder. Or he like uses guns
Uses guns.
and violent. He's violent.
Is this DC?
Should I?
Yeah,
When
Should I jump in?
Yeah.
Real quick.
please.
So the Red Hood originally was Joker.
Oh.
Originally he like before he was the Joker, he was a criminal called the Red Hood.
Oh.
And Jason Todd was killed by the Joker after a poll went out in like the early 90s, I believe. And it was
Like a stripper pole?
no, comic
Mm.
fans had the ability to write in to either save Jason Todd or let him die, and it was like a landslide. They let him die.
Damn.
And so he was the replacement for Dick Grayson, and people just did not like Jason Todd. And so they killed him. He eventually came back in a cataclysmic event and took the persona of Joker from back in the day, the Red Hood.
Okay. There's a sexy lady in this one.
Who?
I can't remember her name, but
Well-
she's like a
Well, she's a lady.
Yeah.
You don't really have to remember her name.
I don't think they gave her
Was
a
it-
name.
Was it Sam?
No. It was something forgettable. No, she's like another vigilante. Vigilante.
It's not Huntress, is it?
No. It was like it's like it started with an S. I
Ooh,
forget.
describe her outfit.
She has a fro, but then she has a braid when she's in her outfit, and her outfit's like blue and it looks like armor.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we're talking about this woman way too long than she needs to be talked about.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was an issue 0, and I see I tend to enjoy the issue 0s because I like a good like setup. Like I like to read a story that's like explaining to me what the story is going to be versus jumping right into something and you're like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Huh? So I enjoyed reading that. What else is coming out this week? Did I miss anything?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, cool.
Top of my head.
What about you, Coral?
I saw what Kinsey was putting out, and it was just superhero shit, and I'm like, nah. Give me that
Yeah.
teddy bear killer.
Give me that.
That's all I'm
teddy
probably
bear.
going to read this week.
Yeah, I mean that's if I had to read just one thing, I'd probably read that. The One Hand was like it was good, but it was also like a little confusing.
How come?
A little bit. I don't know, because it's like artsy.
Oh, bleh.
You know what I mean? All right, let's talk about what we're watching.
Okay.
Because I just had 2 things that I personally wanted to talk about. I know
Okay.
that we're going to talk about some other things a little later on.
Oh, yeah.
For you, but like we finally finished watching American Nightmare.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. What do you think?
It was pretty good.
It fucks with you, right?
Yeah,
Because that whole time I was like, these people are fucking nuts.
yeah.
Especially,
She did it. She's a Gone Girl.
No, yeah. Especially when she just, with her bag, walks up to her dad's house, like all calm. And I'm like, bitch, I'd be sprinting,
Yeah.
screaming, Daddy, let me in. Which, what's a dad? But anyways, that's another topic. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, the whole time I was like, this lady's definitely Gone Girling. Like blah blah blah. Even when she was telling her story, I was like, I don't know. Is this documentary going to be one of those ones where it turns out that the people that are talking to us on camera are actually actors, and then
It felt scripted.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was like, her reactions are so genuine. Like it seems like I don't know. It's very weird.
What bothered me is like at the end how connected he was with so much other shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God damn, this guy's just been popping by, like breaking in houses with water guns, and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like how as far as like rapists go, he was pretty polite.
Right? Which I hate to fucking say that house he broke in and she was like, please no, and he was like, okay, you're right, I'm gonna leave. What the fuck?
Yeah, or that I think that's the lady you're talking about where she was like, I've been raped before, and he was like, oh, I can't do this to you again.
Not again.
But but why? Like he doesn't get off unless it's like someone's first rape.
That
I
You
mean,
know?
my other thing is like how long, because he worked as an immigration lawyer with poor communities in San Francisco.
Mhm.
And so I just have to assume that was his original predator pool.
Yeah.
yeah, which is like makes you think like
And
where
and that's a community that doesn't report crimes, doesn't have a place to go, and no one they breezed over that very quickly.
yeah.
I wish that there was some murdering in the story, like from a fictional, like from a storyline standpoint. Like, obviously, I don't wish people were like murdered,
Right.
but like it would have made it a little bit more interesting, you know. But it was still interesting. Serial rape is still interesting.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We're also not laughing about rape because that's
definitely
not
not.
funny.
No.
But if you watch American Nightmare, it's just gonna fuck with your head.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's kind of comical, more towards the police because they're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the surprisingly, like, the rape is not the central point of this series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we watched that, which
Yeah.
was good. And now we're on this new kick. We're watching on Prime Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I can't do it
Why?
because there is only one. Or one.
Well, actually, there's two because the movie was based on a 1996 TV show.
Oh, you might actually be really into this cast on this TV show.
The TV show, the original show in 1996 was Scott Bakula. Do you know who that is? And Maria Bello. Do you know who that is?
No.
You don't know Maria Bello?
No, I was born in the 90s. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, okay, but
I'll
Maria
look her up.
Bello would be like you would scissor her for sure.
I love that. That's a word we're gonna use now.
It's not my word, it's yours.
Like God, I can't even remember her name because scissor is all that's going in my fucking head right now.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Damn it.
Exactly. Maria Bello.
Very famous lesbian.
Famously in a
No idea.
she was famously in a franchise wasn't called Fast and Furious, right?
What is that?
Wasn't she in a Fast and Furious movie?
I don't think she was in Fast and Furious.
Are you sure?
Fast and Furious movie.
Oh
God.
Jesus.
He has to
Coral.
take any opportunity he gets. Let me talk about vroom.
Oh my God. You are so wrong. It's not even funny. No, so Scott Bakula and Maria Bella. Scott Bakula was in Quantum Leap.
He was in the he was also in Beef, right?
Was he in Beef?
Now I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe?
about that.
I thought he was one of the because I saw the poster for it and I was like, that guy was in Beef, no? Because
I don't think so.
I'll look
I
it
don't think
up.
so. He was in Quantum Leap, and then he was also in Enterprise, the Star Trek show, Enterprise. You don't know that one.
No.
So anyway, there was that show in 1996. It only lasted for one season. It was 13 episodes. We watched part of the pilot last night. It was very 90s,
Yeah.
you know? Oh, Timothy Olyphant was in the pilot. Do you know who that is?
Timothy?
Yeah.
No.
Not Tim.
God damn.
God damn it.
Also, I was wrong. That's not the same guy. I got someone else confused.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I'm
I
just-
totally forgot. Scott Bakula was in Looking.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot about that. Ooh. So anyway, there was that show. Then there was the movie starring Brad and Angelina,
Mhm.
right?
Great movie.
Which Joe had never seen.
what?
So we
seen
watched
it
it
before.
this weekend.
It's a banger, ain't it?
It's pretty good.
Oh, you seem hesitant.
It's fine.
It's not as great as I remember. It's still
Mhm.
very good, but let me leave you with this little nugget.
Mhm.
How old do you think Angelina Jolie was when she made that movie?
How old? I don't know, like 33.
Let's start with Brad real quick. Actually,
Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
How old do you think Brad Pitt was?
I don't know, 35.
He was, well, now I don't know.
Great.
Angelina was 30
Mhm.
years
okay.
old, which is insane because
Yeah.
she looks 45
What?
in that.
just in that way that she has not.
She just has an air about her
Mhm.
that's so much older. And like she plays this like housewife in it. And I guess maybe back then, and this was 2005.
Yeah.
Maybe back then, like 30-year-olds were more mature. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting across the table from a 30-year-old and she's like 10.
29. So,
Oh, so
ask me in a
sorry.
couple of months.
And Brad was what? He's like 13 years older than her
Yeah.
or 12 years
Something
older than
like
her or
that.
something. So he was like 42, 43.
Okay.
Something like that.
That dinner scene in the movie, though, I thought that was so good.
Where she catches the wine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're just awkwardly like eating. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the new show
Mhm.
is more based on the original show, which the movie was based on. So like in the movie, they're married to each other and they don't know that each other is a spy, and then they find out, right?
Right.
In the original show and in the new show, they're two spies that are put together to be married and then given missions.
But they don't know.
No. They do know.
They do
They
know.
both know that they're
Okay.
spies, and they both are put together to be a married couple for a
Working for one entity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's much different than the movie.
And that's Maya is the main.
Yeah,
she's
Maya
the-
Erskine.
Okay. I completely saw something different, I guess. So, no, I probably will watch this
It's
because she's hilarious.
Really good. And it's Donald Glover. Donald Glover and Maya Erskine.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Maya Erskine's awesome in it.
Mm-hmm.
She plays it pretty straight.
Did you watch her in Pen 15?
I did not watch Pen 15.
Oh, my God.
I watched Casual,
Uh-huh.
which she was in. That was a Hulu show.
I don't think I saw that.
Casual was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I think it's a Jason Reitman show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
This is just gonna be one long segment where we call it Do You Know Who That Is? Starring Coral. Do you know who that is?
Me? Yeah.
Okay. Jason Reitman.
Oh, absolutely.
Son of Ivan Reitman.
Yeah.
He wrote Up in the Air.
Yeah, he did. I remember reading that. It was awesome.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, really good. What are you watching on TV right now?
So I did watch The Circle.
Oh, you
Oh,
did?
yeah.
I started the first season with I can't remember her name, but it's the girl that plays Mercedes, the little catfish. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I don't know if I watched the first season.
We
Ah.
watched.
Oh,
the
we
first
did. It's
season.
the British girl is in it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And she's the like hot blonde British girl.
The model?
Yeah, and she's really funny.
No, maybe this isn't the same season. I watched season 1,
Uh-huh.
and
The
it was,
US version.
Yeah.
Okay.
and the model was the first one to get gone.
Oh.
And it was that girl that's like catfishing as Mercedes, who was like doing all the plotting. It's not bad, but it's just
You got to keep going a couple episodes, and then it'll hook you. Trust me.
God. I probably just need to jump into a further season.
The people are telling you. I mean, you could skip to a different season. That's totally fine. In one of the seasons, somebody joins the circle as Lance Bass.
Okay,
but it's not Lance Bass.
No, I couldn't imagine that.
It's his assistant.
Yeah, it's his personal assistant.
I love that.
It's pretty funny, and they're like, "Are you Lance Bass?" I don't know,
because he's right at that point where wasn't he hosting like the the Partridge Family house or the Brady renovation show?
I don't know. He was doing something.
Yeah,
it was interesting. But then a later season, the Spice Girls are on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing themselves though; they're catfishing.
That's hilarious. I mean, what else are they gonna do now?
I know. They're like, "Yeah, we'll be on the circle."
God,
it's really funny. But what's interesting about it is there's lots of like twists in the later seasons that are like really interesting. The way that they do stuff. So, and the comments have already told you. The reefers are telling you.
Oh my God, these reefers.
You know how many shout outs to reefers we got at the Kid Cudi event?
No.
Dozens. Not dozens.
Weird. I didn't
Probably
sign one thing.
I know. I didn't sign one thing either, but I took a lot of pictures. I did like 6 or 7 pictures.
You did sign one thing.
Yeah, I signed that thing that Coral signed also.
Yeah, someone had the
that was for
our 2 security guards.
Yeah, our security guards. Wait, Dorian and what's
Jay.
his face? Yeah, whatever. That doesn't count.
Gotta start somewhere, okay?
Yeah,
I didn't even get to say hi to Dorian that night. Sorry.
What so funny about him? He after the shift, he was like, "Thank you so much," and then came in and gave me the biggest hug, and I was like, "Dorian, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
don't touch me."
He's so sweet, but I don't know him, and so for him to do that, I was like, "Wow, we're really doing."
At the end of the event, it was so funny because like most of the people had left, but Jordan Bloom was there, and he came up, famously of Patton and Jordan, and we were talking, and then there was these people like waiting behind him, and we were talking, and I was like, "Oh, can I help you?" And they're like, "Can we get a picture?" And they like pushed Jordan out of the way and took a picture with me. I was like, "This is my moment."
That's hilarious. Oh God.
So wait. So you watched The Circle. What else are you watching?
I'm really into Love on the Spectrum right now. The American version.
Yeah.
I just finished season 2. Which, if you don't want to watch it, all you have to do, go to season 2, watch the last episode. God damn it, that's funny. It's so funny. One of the characters is named Danny.
Yeah.
And she is like so into like she has to find a partner that does animation, has an animation studio.
Oh,
like,
I know her.
Okay.
I watched the first season.
Okay. Well, she gets over that because I guess she gets too fucking horny. And so she settles. And on this date, she brings cupcakes. And they're in Echo Park. Okay. And, they just got on paddling with the swans. Bust out these cupcakes, and she's like, "We're gonna practice." And he was like, "Oh, okay." Him thinking, "I'm just gonna eat this fucking cupcake." They're just slow licking intent, like
they're practicing eating each other out.
Exactly
on the cupcake.
On the cupcake, and so hold of the cupcake. They get done, and she like looks at him and is like, "All right, now let's practice on each other."
Oh my God!
This camera crew just has to have seen some fucking shit.
Oh my God!
Because they're like literally face to face, just licking each other. And he's like, "How am I doing, Teach?" And I'm like,
"Oh my God. Wow. Well,
watch.
Now that Coral has described eating out a cupcake to us, I feel like we should move on to a segment we like to call Coral's Corner."
Ooh. Okay, so we're going to talk about something that I now love more than the UFC. I went and saw a very artistic, very thought through. I'm surprised it's not one. What do y'all call them? Grammy, Oscar awards. It was Mean Girls.
Oh my God. Grammy Oscar awards, she says. Okay, continue. You know it's a musical, right?
Oh, I found out real quick.
Okay.
They start off strong. The first like 2 minutes when they were singing, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But then it's very tasteful.
Oh.
Yeah. We both, me and Molly were the only 2 fucking people in there. About slid out of our damn seats, just gone.
Because you were so wet?
It was awesome.
Jesus.
You saw the photos I sent.
I know. You sent me, Coral sent me pictures of titties.
Yeah, I was on that.
Oh, sorry. Of titties from the movie. And my first thought was, this bitch is taking pictures in the theater. But I suppose if you were the only two.
No, yeah, we're fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I have great movie etiquette.
Etiquette? Yeah, okay.
Big word, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I've never seen titties on a screen that big.
Oh
I was
my
like, what a moment. I really feel like I just had like a gay awakening.
Another one?
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was pretty incredible. Renee Rapp, jeez.
Who?
Renee Rapp. She could just wrap those legs around me like a face hugger and we'll just
Oh, no.
Jesus.
You know what the face hugger does though? It's got a little slit opening,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it puts a little thing down.
Oh,
your
I know
throat,
what
and
she's
then
gonna
it
do.
deposits. Okay,
I know exactly what's gonna happen. I need to reach out to her, tell her come by. You ever been with someone with unlimited tokens? I'm gonna treat you right.
Jesus. Okay, so now are you a musical theater fan now?
Whatever well, I want to follow her journey. Wherever she goes, I will follow.
Did you watch The Sex Lives of College Girls?
Who?
It's a comedy on she's the lead actress in a comedy show on HBO Max.
That one's real horny.
That's a great show.
She probably actually shows her titties in that.
Oh my God.
No, but there's a lot of lesbian activity in that show.
Oh.
Sex Life of College Girls. God damn.
I think it's on Showtime, right?
HBO. It's on
HBO.
HBO Max.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm now like, this is who I am now. She's my whole personality.
Your hoe personality.
Yeah. I'm glad you got that.
Fortnite and Renee
Renee
Rapp.
Rapp.
I didn't even know this Renee Rapp was a singer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
obviously
she's a singer from the musical, but
she was in the Broadway production that shut down for COVID.
That was going to be my question. Did she originate the role?
I do not think she originated it, but she was in the role when it shut down for COVID.
Huh. I got to be honest with you. I have little to no desire to see Mean Girls.
You have to.
But
I just, because I know look, you may not like it, but you're going to feel what I felt in a way.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Because they show her in the cafeteria. You remember, you've seen the original Mean Girls.
Of course.
Okay. And they're in the cafeteria and they're talking about the jungle scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the movie was similar to the old, but in just random parts.
Mm-hmm.
But when they show her in the cafeteria with her opening scene, kill me.
You
Off me.
did this hand movement when you said opening scene. That
I'm
mimicked
spreading
legs.
in. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, okay. I wasn't writing the movie off right away,
Mhm.
but then I saw the trailer and I was like, no, thank you.
No, the trailer looks bad.
I got less excited for it after the trailer came out because I felt like they were lying to us.
It was just rehashing
the
you
trailer.
know?
The trailer feels like a lie.
Yeah.
I would like to cut a deal. If you watch Mean Girls, I will give you 3 Fast and Furious movies.
Whoa.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going right now.
Do it. Big screen, baby.
There's a couple of reasons why I am a little turned off by the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Busy Phillips.
You got along with Busy.
Kinda.
Yeah, you did.
I did. So Busy Phillips plays the mom. She plays the Amy Poehler character. She's like the cool mom.
Oh, you don't like her? What's wrong with her?
Well, we did her talk show. I designed the set for her talk show on E several years ago. Busy Tonight, and it was like a fine experience. It was cool. It was actually executive produced by Tina Fey, so she was there. I worked with her. We held hands.
You didn't? Okay.
No, we didn't. But we talked to each other quite a few times.
Nice.
It was a fine experience, but the whole thing, the whole set was, they were trying to be very female forward, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for it. But it was like militarized. How do I put this?
Militant?
Like, it was like a militant female forward. Like they would members of the crew would like at the men when they walked by.
What the fuck?
That literally happened to me once.
Really?
Someone said,
Yes. I was in a meeting and they said, and someone was like, "Oh, we're a whole crew of females, except for a few." Ew, at like me and the lighting guys, and I was just like, "Okay."
God, that makes me upset. I would punch them real quick.
It was weird, and like I don't know, it was a fun show to work on. The set was really cool, and like some of the things we were doing was really cool, but I felt like the message was so, I don't know. Well, I can't speak to everything, and I don't want to speak too much out of turn, but I'm just telling you my personal
Well,
experience.
to be honest, I didn't care for her as the mom.
Yeah.
I think they should have had Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams play the moms.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been fun.
They had it, which I didn't know Lindsay Lohan was in the movie.
Yeah, apparently there's a cameo in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, she is you remember when they're doing the mathathon?
Yeah.
She's the one that leads it.
Oh, that's
And it was like,
cool.
the limit does not exist. I'm like, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard that there was like a fire crotch joke in it that Lindsay Lohan got pissed about.
I don't know.
There's-
I think they took out a bunch of the jokes, like the gay jokes and all. And I'm like, why?
Is Daniel Franzese in it? Franzese?
Which one was that?
He was the gay one in the original.
No, they got someone else.
Oh. No, I know they got someone else. Obviously, he's not going to put.
He's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, I would. Hope so.
He doesn't look very similar.
He's a
No.
big old bear now. Obviously,
Like his hair's like shorn.
he did this nude scene in Looking, and I don't know if it was actually him nude, but he had a big old honker do. If you know what I mean.
Well, there's not a single honker do in this movie.
Not
so.
seeing it.
Come on.
Not seeing
Not
it.
even for 3 Fast and Furious.
Okay, you're
We
right.
cut a deal.
All right, but
We can't go see this for a few days though.
but wait,
at the earliest.
but 3 Fast and Furiouses aren't going to get you to when it starts to get really good.
Well, that's
What?
the
That's-
hook. Then we're
yeah.
gonna have to jump into
Twilight. I just passed out.
Oh my God. You bleached little asshole, I swear.
Oh, I'll show you a bleached little asshole. God damn it. But aside from the 2 reasons why you liked the movie, what, like, overall, did you actually like the movie?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. It was a lot more funnier, than I thought it was going to be. I didn't mind the musical numbers, especially the one at the Halloween party. That's the
Oh.
pictures y'all got.
What?
But do you remember Karen? I can't remember who plays her in the original. It's
Amanda
Amanda.
Seyfried.
Okay. They made Karen like too fucking dumb.
Oh,
And I can't say, never mind. But yeah, they just made her really dumb.
Yeah.
And I was like, that just feels kind of disrespectful a little bit. Even for me, I was like, you kind of suck.
yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I did enjoy it. I'd watch it again.
we were kind of thinking, like, man, how many times is Tina Fey going to go back to this well?
But good on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on her.
Mhm.
Milk those little titties.
I mean, this could be a ticket to an EGOT for
Oh,
Tina Fey.
Jesus. Did she get a Tony for this? For Mean Girls?
I think Mean Girls, it at least got nominated.
Huh. But,
Grammy.
I can't wait to hear Coral's review of Madam Web in a couple weeks.
man, I'm going to see it, but those trailers look like shit.
Yeah.
And, in the theater, they showed like an extended one. It looks so bad. Like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of kind of like Aquaman.
It looks really cheap.
Yeah, how like remember in Aquaman where they're coming out in their costumes, or when he finds his mom and she's just wearing rubber bones.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
like, what the fuck? Like, what, DC, you can't afford to get an actual suit. It looks so bad.
Yeah. Talking about that just reminded me that Joe and I actually rented this weekend and watched The Beekeeper with Jason Statham, and it was like take a Fast and Furious movie, but take all the good stuff out of it, and all that's left is just like this empty action movie that, like, at one point I turned to Joe and I was like, was this written by AI? Because like every other line was like a B euphemism, which you have learned about now.
Yeah.
The word euphemism. It was like, he was like, I need to protect the hive. Constantly.
I don't like that. He did that in The Meg. Did you watch The Meg?
Yes.
Okay, well, he does the same thing, and he talks, and in The Meg 2, that's all he kept talking about.
I didn't see the Meg.
We have to get the shark.
I mean, that's one thing, but he kept like being like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's so bad. But then people are like, oh, it's good. But the action was fine. That action was
fine.
Cool.
It wasn't.
He just went around and fucked people up. It's a straight up John Wick ripoff.
Yeah.
Like basically, in John, like, which you won't watch because of the dog, but like in the first movie, the dog gets killed and he just goes on this rampage.
Spoilers.
Well, spoilers, sorry. In Beekeeper, spoilers, he's got this old lady that he hangs out with. And this is all in the trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole thing is in the trailer, up to even when he kills the one guy that he cuts the fingers off in the car. That's in the trailer also. Josh Hutcherson plays like the big bad.
What?
And I won't even reveal the stupid crazy part about who he is in the movie.
But
But
you talking about PETA?
yeah, PETA.
Oh my god,
He's the big bad.
Not my PETA.
Not my PETA. But in the trailer, they tell you like this old lady that he's friends with, she gets scammed on her computer, and these bad guys steal all her money, and then she kills herself. So then he goes and like
Straight up suicide.
yeah, she just shoots herself in the head because all
no.
her money got stolen.
Yeah, she doesn't. She
Not even
doesn't-
her money, a charity's money that she works for.
Yeah, and instead of like,
That doesn't make any sense.
instead of coming up with a solution, she just kills herself. It was.
She just pulled out a
Wild.
Glock and shot herself in the head.
So
Was it a Glock or it was? Yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. It's a shiny big old gun.
It was wild.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
But where are the bees?
Oh well, he
He is a beekeeper.
well he keeps bees like as a thing, but then
Okay.
he's a beekeeper. He's part of this society of secret agent,
which we didn't even get
somethings.
a name for it. I assume it's the
bee-
hive.
the hive,
but
yeah.
like,
And he's a beekeeper.
yeah,
But he's also actually a beekeeper.
Yeah.
Like he actually throws honey at one of the bad guys and it hits them in the face and it's flammable, and then the bad guy like burns alive.
The honey is flammable.
Yeah. Remember when the new beekeeper lady shows up and she's got that giant gun in her truck, and he threw a jar of honey at her face,
yeah.
and the honey hit her, and then she exploded.
Well, he lit her on fire. He got the gas. Sorry.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
semantics. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
he hits her with a jar of honey.
Yeah, he uses honey as a weapon.
Speaking of which, and this Coral's Corner has gone completely off the rails, but speaking of which, let's just end Coral's Corner right now.
Bye.
Speaking of which, today a trailer for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 came out.
I saw that.
And it actually looks pretty good.
The first one was actually supposed to be kind of good, right?
I guess, but the second one looks like they got a lot more money to do it.
Mhm. I am probably gonna watch that.
Yeah?
Like the trailer, it doesn't look bad. No, it's stupid because it's fucking Pooh Bear walking around,
Yeah.
and he has pants on. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, of course he
You're
does.
not Pooh Bear in it. Come
well,
on.
it's Donald Duck in it. You don't say Pooh Bear in it.
I don't say Donald Duck in it. It's always I'm Pooh Bear in it.
Okay, well, tomato, I suppose.
Mhm.
But Winnie the Pooh, the first one, is out on streaming somewhere. I think it's on like Peacock or
Peacock?
something. Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know if I really want to watch it, but after seeing that trailer, I'm like, maybe I do.
I mean, in other horror news, the third installment of the Terrifier.
I
Started
know.
filming.
Did you watch Terrifier 2?
Yeah, it's fucked
That
up.
shit's
Ooh.
fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
Shay hasn't seen it yet. I'm like, what are you
What
talking
the
Yeah.
hell
about?
is he
What do you
doing?
mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Jalalo hasn't seen it.
Yeah, Mr. Giallo himself watching every goddamn horror movie. He's not seen Terrifier 2. And I'm like, what?
It's so
Remember when I
dumb.
sat you guys down? I sat Joe and Joe down and I said, I rented a movie for us. And like, we watched it and they were like, what did you make us watch?
You-
And there's that scene. There's that scene in the bedroom where he
Yeah.
just keeps murdering that bitch.
Oh.
That God.
It was so. That was,
And there was the evisceration.
yeah. Where he
Whoa.
like rips her scalp off. And then he's like rubbing lemon juice on it. Like, what?
It's so dumb, but I love it.
It's actually pretty scary. He's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
There's a lot of horror movies coming out. I
Yeah.
think this year.
Yeah. A
Mhm.
lot of stuff. We haven't been to the movies in a minute because we've
been
been
too busy.
We've been so busy doing cool stuff for all these people. We used to go on Monday nights, but now we do podcasts.
We didn't get to go see Godzilla.
We didn't even go see Godzilla -1.
Fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I have been tempted to smash that rent button on Aquaman 2 a couple times,
Ew.
but it's $20.
Don't pay for
It's
it.
$20.
It'll be
Yeah.
out on HBO Max soon.
I know.
God damn. Why is it $20?
Well, that's what they do is they put it out. Well, the beekeeper was $20 also, but that's because it
And
came
did
out.
we learn anything?
Yeah, we learned our lesson on that. You're right. And I was like, man, why is this on streaming only 2 weeks after it was released? But Beekeeper did make more, or it unseated Mean Girls. When it
Really?
came out. Yeah, it was number 1,
Oh.
and Mean Girls dropped to number 2.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, but Argyle is like is real sucking it up right now.
What do you mean, like bad?
Well, apparently it's terrible, but it was a huge bomb.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was an Apple movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're screwed.
Damn, I forgot to show you all the picture. I'll get it later. I took a picture with the Dua Lipa, the sign at the movie theater.
Oh, that's right. That's the other thing is Dua
Yeah.
Lipa is like in the movie
Mhm.
and it's a huge bomb and like people are like, but she's like, I hope she keeps
Which movie?
acting. Argyle.
Oh, yeah. I
Mhm.
forgot.
Yeah. So that's all the news that she wrote right there. Anything else coming out anytime soon that
I
we're
don't
excited
know.
about?
Mm.
I don't fucking know.
No, I'm waiting for the new Strangers movie. That's what I'm waiting for.
That doesn't even have a date.
I thought it did.
This year. It says this year.
Yeah, well, this year I'm going to be waiting.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some speculation.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The title for the next Beetlejuice movie has come out.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, does that mean Beetlejuice?
Oh, like there's gonna be a third one? Probably.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, because you say it 3 times.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Are y'all excited about that?
No.
No, okay.
I don't know.
Uh-uh.
I mean, Catherine O'Hara's back, right?
Yeah, listen, I haven't been excited for a Tim Burton movie since like Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, I think once was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Or just his Planet of the Apes?
it was
I
just
kinda
Planet of the
like,
Apes.
Oh.
Yeah, ooh. Then he started just pumping them out, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo. Was
Mhm.
Dumbo him?
Well, that was his that's his deal with Disney
Yeah.
because he signed with Disney
And he's like
not long after that.
Frankenweenie and Corpse Bride and all these animated bullshits.
I will say Corpse Bride was pretty great.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride?
Those
That
are good.
shit sucks.
That's
Did you even watch them?
No.
Exactly.
okay.
Look
I
at
watched
him.
Corpse Bride probably.
I like them.
It sucks.
And
Those
the,
ones are good.
The Chocolate Factory? Hell yeah.
Even
Mm.
like Nightmare Before Christmas. I can't see that again.
People have ruined that.
That's true. I
Yeah.
can't do that. I
No.
saw the last time I saw that was like 15 years ago at the Disney Theater on Sunset
Yeah.
or on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
Best viewing, last viewing.
Yeah.
Good to go.
You know
Mhm.
what it is when I think about Nightmare Before Christmas? All I see is like bad Jack Skellington tattoos.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
It's the merchandise. It's
Yeah.
so fucking tacky.
Yeah.
And I'm,
They're just
I can't.
everywhere.
also like when they have you done Disneyland here?
Not here, no.
Well, it's probably the same in Orlando, but like the stupid Haunted Mansion Christmas themed Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've gone on that a couple of times and it's just like I can't anymore. I can't
no.
even look at these characters anymore. Like I straight up said we're not going to sell Nightmare Before Christmas merch in our store when we opened, and then we realized that we enjoy making money so that we can pay you guys.
Yeah, there's
And-
people out there that'll buy
Yeah,
that shit.
they always buy it. So whatever, we did it.
Mm.
But what are you gonna do? Well, I feel like at this point, we've covered everything we need to cover. We'll see you next
Mhm.
time.